The world watched in shock on May 15, 2024, as news broke of a helicopter crash involving Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi. The incident occurred in the mountainous Alborz province north of Tehran, while President Raisi was en route to a political rally. Early reports are unclear about the cause of the crash, and the extent of President Raisi's injuries remains unknown. However, the incident has sent shockwaves through Iran and the international community, raising urgent questions about the stability of the Iranian government and the future of the country's foreign policy. Ibrahim Raisi, a hardline cleric, assumed the presidency in August 2021. His tenure has been marked by a return to conservative policies, a crackdown on dissent, and heightened tensions with the West. The helicopter crash has injected a significant element of uncertainty into Iranian politics. With the president's condition unknown, questions swirl around the potential for a power vacuum. This uncertainty is further compounded by the opaque nature of Iran's political system, where real power often lies with the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. Ibrahim Raisi is no stranger to controversy. A prominent figure within Iran's conservative establishment, he is known for his hardline stance on social and political issues. His rise to the presidency in 2021 marked a decisive shift away from the more moderate policies of his predecessor, Hassan Rouhani. Raisi's victory was seen as a triumph for the conservative faction within Iran, signaling a return to the principles of the 1979 Islamic Revolution. This ideological shift has had profound consequences for Iran's domestic and foreign policies. Under Raisi's leadership, Iran has witnessed a crackdown on dissent and a tightening of social restrictions. Human rights groups have raised concerns about the increasing number of arrests and the curtailment of freedom of speech. Raisi's government has also taken a more confrontational approach towards the West, particularly on the issue of Iran's nuclear program. Negotiations to revive the 2015 nuclear deal have stalled, with both sides blaming each other for the impasse. Raisi's presidency has been marked by a deepening of Iran's regional ambitions. The country has expanded its influence in Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon, often through proxy militias. This assertive foreign policy has brought Iran into direct conflict with regional rivals such as Saudi Arabia and Israel, further escalating tensions in the Middle East. The helicopter crash comes at a time when Iran is already grappling with a multitude of challenges, both domestic and international. The incident has the potential to exacerbate these existing tensions, throwing the country into further turmoil. The helicopter crash involving President Raisi has plunged Iran into a state of profound uncertainty. The immediate aftermath of the incident was marked by a lack of clarity regarding the president's condition. Official statements from the government were initially vague, fueling speculation and rumors. The absence of reliable information created an information vacuum, allowing for the spread of misinformation and conspiracy theories. This lack of transparency is characteristic of Iran's political system, where information is often tightly controlled. The uncertainty surrounding President Raisi's health has raised concerns about the potential for a power vacuum within the Iranian government. The country's political system is complex, with power distributed among various institutions and individuals. While the president holds significant executive authority, the ultimate power lies with the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. Khamenei is considered the ultimate authority on all matters of state, including foreign policy and national security. The potential for a power struggle in the event of Raisi's incapacitation or death cannot be discounted. Within Iran's conservative establishment, there are multiple factions vying for influence. The Revolutionary Guards, a powerful military force with significant economic interests, are a key player in Iranian politics. Other influential groups include the clergy, the judiciary, and the parliament. The helicopter crash has the potential to upset the delicate balance of power within Iran, leading to political instability and internal conflicts. The helicopter crash involving President Raisi has sent shockwaves through the international community. Governments around the world are closely monitoring the situation in Iran, anxious about the potential implications for regional stability and global security. The incident has injected a significant element of uncertainty into an already volatile region. The Middle East is grappling with multiple conflicts, including the ongoing war in Yemen, the Syrian civil war, and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Iran plays a pivotal role in the region's geopolitical dynamics. Its support for various armed groups, including Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza, makes it a key player in the regional power struggle. Iran's nuclear program is another source of international concern. The 2015 nuclear deal, which aimed to limit Iran's nuclear ambitions, has been in jeopardy since the United States withdrew from the agreement in 2018. Negotiations to revive the deal have been stalled for months, with both sides blaming each other for the impasse. The helicopter crash adds another layer of complexity to the already intricate diplomatic efforts aimed at addressing the Iranian nuclear issue. The international community is now faced with the prospect of dealing with an Iranian government in a state of flux. The uncertainty surrounding President Raisi's health and the potential for political instability in Iran make it difficult to predict the future trajectory of the country's foreign policy. The incident serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of the status quo in the Middle East and the potential for unexpected events to disrupt the delicate balance of power. The helicopter crash involving President Raisi has cast a long shadow over the already precarious negotiations aimed at reviving the 2015 nuclear deal. The deal, formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA, was designed to curb Iran's nuclear program in exchange for the lifting of international sanctions. However, the agreement began to unravel in 2018 when the United States, under the Trump administration, unilaterally withdrew from the JCPOA and reimposed sanctions on Iran. Since then, Iran has gradually scaled back its compliance with the nuclear deal, increasing its stockpile of enriched uranium and installing advanced centrifuges. The Biden administration has expressed a willingness to rejoin the JCPOA, but negotiations have been bogged down by disagreements over the sequencing of steps and the extent of sanctions relief. The helicopter crash has further complicated this delicate diplomatic process. The incident has created uncertainty about the Iranian government's ability to engage in negotiations and implement any potential agreement. The potential for a power struggle within Iran following the helicopter crash could also have implications for the nuclear deal. Hardline factions within the Iranian establishment, who have always been skeptical of the JCPOA, might see the incident as an opportunity to derail the negotiations altogether. On the other hand, more pragmatic voices within the Iranian government might see the need for a diplomatic solution to ease the country's economic woes and avoid further international isolation. The future of the nuclear deal now hangs in the balance, with the helicopter crash adding another layer of uncertainty to an already complex and volatile situation. The helicopter crash involving President Raisi comes at a time of significant geopolitical shifts in the Middle East. The region is witnessing a realignment of alliances and a reshuffling of the power dynamics. The Abraham Accords, signed in 2020, normalized relations between Israel and several Arab states, including the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. This diplomatic breakthrough has created a new axis of cooperation in the region, aimed at countering Iran's growing influence. The United States, under the Biden administration, has adopted a less interventionist approach to the Middle East compared to previous administrations. While the U.S. remains committed to its security partnerships in the region, it has shifted its focus towards addressing challenges in other parts of the world, such as the rise of China. This shift in U.S. foreign policy has created a sense of uncertainty among its traditional allies in the Middle East, who are now seeking to diversify their security arrangements. The helicopter crash involving President Raisi adds another layer of complexity to this evolving geopolitical landscape. The incident has the potential to destabilize Iran, a key player in the region's power dynamics. The potential for a power struggle within Iran could lead to a more unpredictable and assertive foreign policy, further escalating tensions with its regional rivals. The international community is now closely watching how the situation unfolds in Iran, aware that any significant shifts in the country's domestic politics could have profound implications for the entire region. Looming large over the unfolding situation in Iran is the figure of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the country's supreme leader. Khamenei, who has held this position since 1989, wields ultimate authority in Iran's political system. He is the final arbiter on all matters of state, including foreign policy, national security, and religious affairs. The president, while holding significant executive power, is ultimately subordinate to the supreme leader's authority. Khamenei is a staunch ideologue, committed to the principles of the 1979 Islamic Revolution. He is deeply suspicious of the West and views the United States as Iran's primary adversary. He has consistently opposed any compromise on Iran's nuclear program and has been a vocal critic of the 2015 nuclear deal. Khamenei's health has been a subject of speculation for several years. He is 84 years old and has reportedly battled various ailments. The helicopter crash involving President Raisi has brought into sharp focus the question of succession in Iran. Should Khamenei become incapacitated or pass away, the process for selecting his successor is shrouded in secrecy. The Assembly of Experts, a body of 88 clerics, is tasked with choosing the next supreme leader. However, the selection process is opaque and heavily influenced by internal political dynamics. A potential power struggle within the Assembly of Experts could have significant implications for Iran's future direction. The uncertainty surrounding Khamenei's health and the lack of transparency regarding the succession process add another layer of complexity to the already volatile situation in Iran. The helicopter crash involving President Raisi has raised concerns about the potential for a power vacuum within the Iranian government. The incident has exposed the fragility of the country's political system and the lack of clear mechanisms for succession in the event of the president's incapacitation or death. The Iranian constitution does provide for a temporary transfer of power to the first vice president in such circumstances. However, the effectiveness of this provision in a real-life crisis remains untested. The potential for a power struggle within the Iranian establishment cannot be discounted. The country's political system is characterized by a complex interplay of various factions and institutions, each vying for influence. The Revolutionary Guards, a powerful military force with significant economic interests, are a key player in Iranian politics. Other influential groups include the clergy, the judiciary, and the parliament. The absence of a clear and decisive leader in the wake of the helicopter crash could create an opportunity for these factions to assert themselves, potentially leading to political instability and internal conflicts. The potential for a power vacuum is further compounded by the opaque nature of Iran's political decision-making process. The country's leadership operates largely behind closed doors, with limited transparency and accountability. This lack of openness makes it difficult to assess the true extent of the impact of the helicopter crash on the Iranian government's ability to function effectively. The international community is now closely watching for any signs of instability or internal discord within Iran, aware that a power struggle within the country could have far-reaching implications for regional stability and global security. The helicopter crash involving President Raisi has left Iran and the international community grappling with a multitude of questions. The immediate focus is on the president's health and the extent of his injuries. The Iranian government has released limited information about Raisi's condition, fueling speculation and uncertainty. The lack of transparency is characteristic of Iran's political system, where information is often tightly controlled. As the world awaits further news about President Raisi's condition, attention is turning to the potential implications of the incident for Iran's domestic politics and foreign policy. The potential for a power vacuum within the Iranian government is a major concern. The country's political system is complex, with power distributed among various institutions and individuals. The absence of a clear and decisive leader could create an opportunity for various factions to assert themselves, potentially leading to political instability and internal conflicts. The helicopter crash also raises questions about the future direction of Iran's foreign policy. The incident comes at a time when Iran is already facing multiple challenges, including stalled negotiations over the revival of the 2015 nuclear deal and escalating tensions with its regional rivals. The potential for instability within Iran could lead to a more unpredictable and assertive foreign policy, further complicating efforts to address these challenges. The international community is now closely watching how the situation unfolds in Iran, aware that any significant shifts in the country's domestic politics could have profound implications for regional stability and global security. The helicopter crash involving President Raisi has sent ripples of anxiety across the global stage. World leaders are carefully observing the unfolding situation in Iran, cognizant of the potential domino effect this incident could trigger. The geopolitical landscape, already volatile, is further destabilized by the uncertainty surrounding the Iranian president's condition and the potential ramifications for the nation's internal stability. The incident casts a shadow over critical international relations. The delicate negotiations surrounding the revival of the 2015 nuclear deal, already at an impasse, are further complicated by the potential for a power struggle within Iran. The incident could embolden hardliners opposed to the agreement, potentially derailing any progress made towards a diplomatic solution. The global community is holding its breath, anticipating the next developments in Iran. The incident underscores the interconnectedness of global affairs, highlighting how an event in one corner of the world can reverberate across international borders, impacting diplomatic strategies, economic forecasts, and security assessments. The world waits, hoping for stability and clarity to emerge from the uncertainty that currently shrouds Iran. The helicopter crash involving President Raisi marks a defining moment for Iran. The incident has exposed the fragility of the country's political system, the opacity of its decision-making processes, and the potential for instability in the face of a leadership crisis. The world watches anxiously as the situation unfolds, aware that the stakes are high, not only for Iran but for the entire region and beyond. The coming days and weeks will be crucial in determining the trajectory of this volatile situation. The Iranian government's response to the crisis, the level of transparency it demonstrates, and the steps it takes to address the potential for a power vacuum will be closely scrutinized. The international community's reaction, its willingness to engage with Iran in a constructive manner, and its ability to navigate the complex geopolitical landscape will also be critical in shaping the outcome. The helicopter crash serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of global events and the interconnectedness of international affairs. It underscores the need for clear communication, diplomatic dexterity, and a commitment to peaceful resolutions in addressing complex challenges. The world holds its breath, hoping that wisdom and restraint will prevail in this moment of uncertainty.